Welcome back to episode 3 of our time challenge, where it feels like I'm panicking every other minute. Please like the video if you enjoy hearing me suffer through my bad ideas. To start, I'd like to say this habitat was so much easier than the last, and I'm not too sure what the difference is. There's not much more fine detail and the timer was longer. In the Torvosaurus habitat, I built a shelter, decorated it, and worked on the environment, trying to maintain a specific feel overall with the details instead of telling a story with small patches of details. In this enclosure, I spent a lot of time working on the landscape and rocks, but not so much that it wasted time. I aimed to practice my rock work and try and get it to look more natural and flow nicer from the landscape. I think I'm heading in the right direction, but still need more practice. So as we continue, I think we'll see more rock stuff being added in and worked on. Hope you all don't mind. I did trim back quite a bit of the footage though, so you don't have to suffer through it all. In the middle, I added in a small creek and a waterfall. I should have raised up the lower pool or lowered the waterfall a bit more to make it seem less quick, as the waterfall makes it look like the creek is very fast flowing, but I wanted it to be a slower flow. Perhaps they will add in a slow waterfall feature in the future. Speaking of the waterfall features, in this video I learned, or maybe relearned, that the waterfall effects can be resized using the Alt button. This was very handy for adding in smaller splash at the bottom. I had planned for adding in a whole lot of downed trees and branches since it is a forested enclosure, but I just didn't feel like fighting with that many tiny details. Sometimes I have to make compromises for finer details because I just do not have the attention span or the drive to do all the really tiny little things. Instead, I added in a spot where there's some downed trees kind of piled up with dead branches and whatnot sprinkled on it. It's not a shelter, but I did want the animals to be able to pass through and under it in a way, so I'm pretty okay with the turnout. When checking the front of the enclosure one time, I realized how bare and tiny the enclosure felt with only the backdrop of the mountains in the distance. So I added in a mix of forests out the back of the enclosure to make it look like it carries on for a while. It's a trick I've done before and enjoy doing it. While inside the enclosure, I brought forest and single trees forward in a strategic way to feel more natural, and like it is indeed the front edge of this forest. It was a fun thing to try, and I hope it worked well for everyone viewing it. I also added in plants and ferns around rocks, and tried to make sure it looked like the ground clutter was stuck between the pebbles and small items, including a fallen log. For the open areas, I sprinkled in some temperate ground foliage, flowers, grasses, and small brush. It really made a big difference in my opinion, and I felt like it really tied everything together and warmed the whole place up. Out of all of the enclosures that I've done thus far, especially for YouTube, I think that this one has to be one of my favorites, if not the favorite. Although the Triceratops one is really close to it. Hopefully, as I continue, I'll get better and I'll enjoy a lot of my other enclosures. But that's all I have to say about this one today, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Take care.